Hi guys, 18dap here and welcome to this video. Before we make a start on it, I just want to make a quick announcement. I've been lucky enough to be selected to play for the third time in the Evestrust Charity Legends football game at the Eco Power Stadium. The event sponsored by the Eco Power Group on the 7th of May 2022 at the Eco Power Stadium. Tickets are available. Contact me on my socials if you want any. Donations will be greatly appreciated. Link to the donation pages in the description down below. And also a big thank you to C&K Decorators for a personal sponsor for me. Great decorators. If you need any decorating work done, please get in touch with them. Links to their socials are in the description down below. It's going to be a good game. Get yourself down there. But for now, let's get on with this video. Hi guys and welcome to this video, a match preview for Cheltenham versus Doncaster at the Johnny Rock Stadium this Saturday. If you're an existing subscriber, thank you for sticking around on the channel, thank you for the support, it is massively appreciated, a big thank you for that. If this video has brought you to the channel or you're new here, please consider clicking subscribe so you don't miss any future content. And if you are new to this and this is the first video that you've seen, this is the format that we go through match previews. We'll look at the previous meetings between the two clubs, current form across all competitions. I choose a Doncaster Rovers player just to say a few words on. I pick the opponent's one to watch in my opinion, so for Cheltenham in this video, but as I've always said, you know your club much better than what I do, so if you think there's somebody else that I've missed out, please, in the comments down below, I'm happy to be corrected. And then we'll round the video off with 3 predictions. Predicted team lineup thanks to FanHub. Me and the family do a predictions league table, so there's an update on that before we finish, and then we'll complete the video with the all-important score predictions. So without further ado, let's get into previous meetings between Cheltenham and Donny. And we've only faced off 11 times in our history, with Rovers coming out on top on 7 of those occasions, Cheltenham winning 2, and we've shared the spoils on 2 as well. So positive reading for Rovers fans in a game where we could really do with the 3 points. And drilling down into the last 5, it's positive reading once again for the Rovers, coming into this game unbeaten in 5 between us and Cheltenham. We have to go back to 2009 for the FA Cup, where it was a 0-0 draw away from home, and then in the replay we beat them 3-0. And then jumped to 2016-17 season in League 2, and we did the double over Cheltenham with a 1-0 win and a 2-0 win at home, and hopefully we can do the double over Cheltenham once again this season, where earlier this season we beat them 3-2, but we made hard work of it. I will link the match preview at the end of this video, so stick around to see that. So coming into this one with a little bit of positivity, I'd say. Current form though could tell a very different story. We look at Doncaster and it was a defeat, a win, a defeat, a win, and then an important draw on Saturday. And we look at Cheltenham and they're in better form with 2 wins, 2 draws, and then a defeat on Saturday. But as I touched on a second ago, disappointing not to get the 3 points on Saturday against another relegation rival, relegation worried Wimbledon. And I think a win would have given us real hopes of survival, dropping that gap of 4 points down to 1. But survival is still on, but we need wins, we need points, we need 3 points in as many games as possible to stand any sort of chance of surviving. I think we've given ourselves a bit of a mountain to climb, maybe too much of a job to do to get out of it. But if we go down swinging, go down fighting, that's all we can ask for to try and get a bit of positive momentum going into next season, potentially in League 2. But obviously I'd love us to avoid the drop and be a League 1 team next year. And for me, taking positives away from the Wimbledon game on Saturday, we went 2-0 down. Normally this season we haven't shown any spine, any character, any fight to actually get back into a game. We've capitulated so many times. We've seen it with 6-0s, 4-0s, 5-0s, you name it. We've been battered too many times this season. So to see us actually have a bit of character and fight about us to come back and win a point, you've got to take positives away from that and see that Gary McSheffrey is doing positive work with the club and the squad. So I think he'll be the manager next season regardless of what happens over this next month or so, and hopefully he gets a few additions in next year, and whatever league we're in we can see this positive turn of form and an atmosphere around the club continue into next season. So A little disappointed with the draw, but from the position being 2-0 down, we've seen it be much worse this season. So I think we've got to take the positives away from that and hopefully take that into Cheltenham on Saturday. Moving on to Cheltenham, some fantastic results over recent weeks with wins at home against Sunderland, who were going through a bit of a patch at the time, but nonetheless they're a good team at this level, and you'd like to think Sunderland, well, I'd assume Sunderland fans would be expecting a win against a newly promoted team, although we are near the end of the season, you'd like to think a team of Sunderland stature at this level would be beating Cheltenham. No disrespect to Cheltenham. So a very good result there, in my opinion. A good result against a team in and around them as well, with a win against Fleetwood. And the two wins were coupled with very good draws away from home against Wycombe and Ipswich, who are arguably two teams that should be fighting in and around the top six. The 5-5 draw at Wycombe was ridiculous, and then to get a 0-0 draw at Ipswich midweek as well is nothing to be sniffed at. So it shows the ability that Cheltenham do have within their squad. And then a defeat at the weekend at home to Crewe should give Doncaster a little bit of hope in terms of going into this one and coming away with something, a point, hopefully 3. So a Cheltenham team potentially there to be got at, but at the same time, they have a lot of ability in there that can hurt you. But for me, a very good first season in League One for Cheltenham, currently 15th on 41 points. For me, they should be safe, no fears of going down. Maybe looking over the shoulder a little bit, but there's too many teams below them that, in my opinion, are worse than them. So I think they'll be fine this season, and I think Cheltenham fans will be happy with survival this season as well. Moving on to the player profile for this video, I have gone with Joseph Olowu, and for me, this guy is probably our signing of the season, in my opinion. He's got bags of potential, bags of ability. I think he's come into his own in the back three alongside Williams and Younger. But yeah, central defender, previous clubs, Arsenal, Cork, Wealdstone. Both Cork and Wealdstone were on loan, and they came to us on a free transfer. And for me, it's been a bit of a surprise package. Didn't expect much from him at the start of the season, but I think he's come in and shown his abilities both on the ball and also goal scoring. I think he's got 4 goals this season for us, pops up with a goal here or there, but over his career, 125 appearances, 7 goals, 4 assists. And what I like about Olowu is his passion. After games that we've won, geeing up the crowd, he absolutely loves it. And I think that connection between player and fan is not talked about enough, and I think it means a lot more than some people realise, that connection between club and fans. So Joseph Olowu is building those bridges between the players and the fans in a tough season, and that bit of passion, that's all we ask for, or that's all I ask for as a fan, is to see passion and fight, and Olowu's got absolutely bags of it. I'm looking forward to seeing him progress and develop as a player, and hopefully get a decent move away if the time's right and if the price is right, but hopefully he's with us for a long time yet, because very good defender, and I'm looking forward to seeing him alongside Tom Anderson if he comes back in. Moving on to the one to watch for Cheltenham, and us Rovers fans know him very, very well. It's little Alfie May. I'm only joking with that picture, let's get him on at full size. Alfie May, fantastic player. I'd have him back at Doncaster Rovers tomorrow. 28 years old, centre forward, 41 appearances this year, 18 goals, 3 assists, and for me, I've seen it a lot on Twitter. I put a post out there. Whenever he scores, I'm very happy to see him score. Obviously, hope he doesn't score on Saturday. But for me, when he was at Doncaster, he got 1 goal every 10 games. Probably didn't have the right opportunities. Probably played out of position. You've got many different arguments. But for me, his time at Doncaster, he wasn't quite cutting it as a striker, and he was let go at the right time, in my opinion. I think he's gone to a club that suits him, his style of play, and is flourishing. And it's one of those players where I'm so happy to see him flourishing, because he's such a nice guy. He's so genuine, and to see him progress and develop and become a bit of a force in League One is great to see. For me though, I think he went at the right time, and I look at John Marquis before we got him. He was scoring 20 goals a season for us. Before us, it wasn't that prolific. So potentially Alfie May and Cheltenham is a bit like the Marquis and Doncaster kind of situation. So it's definitely the one to watch. We know what we get, or we know what we're going to get from him. He's like a terrier. His pressing, his fitness, his aggression, just everything about him. He harries defenders. I think Olowu, Williams, Younger need to be on it with their touch, because if not, if they give Alfie an inch, he'll take it and he'll put it away. And some of the goals that he scored this season are phenomenal. The chip against Wickham, where it's come over his right shoulder, the touch, and then the chip. Fantastic little player, and as I say, I'd have him back at Donny tomorrow. I'd literally drive to Cheltenham and bring him back. But yeah, one to watch for me is Alfie May. As I said at the start of the video, if you think there's somebody else, please, in the comments down below, let me know. Moving on to the predicted team lineup. So, as I said at the start of the video, this is thanks to FanHub. If you've not downloaded the app yet, please go ahead and do so. Plenty of features to get your teeth stuck into. And for me, it's all about the predicted team lineup. So I am going with an unchanged squad against Cheltenham from the Wimbledon game. So that's Mitchell in goal, a back three centre-backs of Younger, Williams and Olowu. Two wing-backs, Noyle on the right, Jackson on the left. And then a midfield four of Gardner, Smith, Martin and Tommy Rowe. Fantastic Tommy Rowe after the 2 goals against Wimbledon. And then up top on his own, Rio Griffiths. I think we've had a couple of decent results with that squad. Why would you change something that's currently working? Try and use the subs to enhance what we've got a foundation of. So for me, I think it'd be silly to change it. As I say, when it's working fairly well. So unchanged for me going into Cheltenham. And that takes me on to the Predictions League table. So if you're new to this, me and the family predict the scoreline for every league game this season. If we get it spot on, we get 3 points. If we get the outcome of the game right, but not the result, we get 1 point. If we get it completely wrong, we get no points. And there was positivity going into the Wimbledon game. We all went for wins. Finished 2-2, so no change, no points added to anybody's total. So I'm still first on 24 points, Dad in second on 22, Max in third on 16, and Chris at the bottom on 14 points. Some catching up to do in the last 10 games for him. Hopefully I can remain top and get my trophy back. And that takes me on to the score predictions. So for this one, I think it's going to be a tough game. Cheltenham play with freedom. I think, as I say, I think they're safe, so hopefully, I don't think the flip-flops will be on yet. There's still plenty of points to play for. I think they'll be very professional in it. But I'm hoping that us fighting for his lives gives us that little bit of edge in this game that Cheltenham might not have at the minute. So I'm going with a very tight, cagey, nervy, as it always is with Donny Rovers, edging it 2-1. I hope I'm right. The 3 points would be absolutely massive. I'm recording this fairly early. It's Tuesday. We don't know the results from tonight yet, but I'll be keeping a close eye on the Fleetwood, Shrewsbury games and the rest of League One as well to see what's happening. But Fleetwood's a massive game that we could do with Wigan winning. But that's where I'm going to leave this one. So I'm going with a 2-1 to the Rovers. Hope I'm right. If you've enjoyed it, please stick a big thumbs up on it for us. Please comment in the section down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.